Hey there. Hey, this is Buck. So I wanted to correct something that I said last night. About 33 minutes in, I made a mention of a young lady by the name of Margaret MacDonald, and I attributed the pre-tribulation rapture to her. One of the folks from the class sent me a really great article on why she couldn't have been the person that did, and I went through and read it, and then I went back and reread the actual, it's called the Oracle of Margaret MacDonald, and have to agree, I don't think she was. And so I wanted to correct that, and I'm going to put the links to both the document, the Margaret MacDonald Oracle itself, and to the document that was sent by Rachel to me tonight to discuss this topic. And just wanted to give a shout out to Rachel to say thanks. It's always interesting to me, even after years and years, I had that when that thought came to my mind last night when we were talking, and I shared it. It's been one of those things that I've held as a belief for, my gosh, I bet probably nearly 40 years. I've always understood that she was the person that was. And so, in my journey of studying Scripture and challenging and trying to disprove what I believe, right, I've run into things like this over and over and over again. So I'd like to just, hopefully what you'll do from this is that I'll correct a mistake, first of all, that I made, so that you guys are all on the same page and we can see it together. If you're interested, maybe you're not, but at least let me go on record as stating I have to agree that I don't think Margaret MacDonald was the person that began that, because the Oracle, I went back and reread it again tonight, and it doesn't support that. But inasmuch as any of us believe something, and when somebody brings a compelling argument to us and can show us that we might have an error, we need to make certain that we're willing to receive that and to change, right? So I realize this isn't Scripture, right? This is an extra biblical source, and so there's this has to do with church history, though. And so because I said it, I want to correct the error number one. I also want you to be informed so that you can see the conversation. And this one document, it doesn't necessarily mean that this person has everything right either, right? But what the document did was it made me go back and reread the words of Margaret MacDonald. And there are numerous errors in what she says, scriptural errors, that we'll identify as we go through, not specifically targeting Margaret MacDonald, but I'm just saying that they'll become obvious as we continue reading Scripture. But inasmuch as, even with church history or anything, if any of us has an error, myself, I look at myself and I scrutinize myself. If I believe something and it's not true, I want to correct it, irrespective of whether it's scriptural or not. I don't want to believe something that's not the truth. So anyways, just want to go on record as correcting Margaret MacDonald. When I went back and reread her words and evaluated what she said again, I have to agree that she did not support that and could not have been the originator of that doctrine in the 1830s. So I'll put the links in the video below so you can go read these documents if you're interested, but I wanted to correct that, say thanks again to Rachel for bringing that up. And anytime any of you have thoughts or want to push back on anything that you hear in class, you're always welcome to do that. I don't believe that I have everything 100% right. I do my best to make certain that I get things 100% right, and I believe I can defend that Scripture. This happened to be an extra biblical source that I probably shouldn't even mention last night. It came to my mind and I said it. I'm glad that I did, though, because it gave me the chance to correct something that was an error that I believed for years, and so I think it was providential. So anyway, thanks. Feel free to reach out if you have any thoughts or questions, and we'll see you back in class.